Hello everyone and welcome to Linda's Corner on SolidCAM Insights. Today we have a special guest, Ken Merritt, who is SolidCAM's USA COO. Hi Ken.
Hi Linda, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Okay, so listen Ken, you've worn several hats during your journey, during your career in SolidCAM. Can you tell us about those hats and how it led you to become SolidCAM's COO?
Sure, absolutely. I actually started out almost 15 years ago as an application engineer on the tech support team. And from that I started doing training and other things with our customers, and then began to get more involved with the development of the software, turning in enhancement requests and things like that to grow the software for what our customers were asking for. And that got me an opportunity to become more familiar with, how we actually develop software. I wrote post-processors for a while, and so I began to do, some of that aspect of taking care of customers.
So you're very highly technical. I mean, you know the insides of SolidCAM, how it works.
Yeah, generally.
No, I mean, this is great for a COO to be technical and sales. I mean, it's not something that every COO has.
Exactly. Well, and I spent many years in the machine shops too, and so I have an idea of how we want to use the software.
Right.
And so that course took me into a lot more involvement with getting customers' ideas and bringing them to development. Mm-hmm. And then I was promoted into a position as the director of our partner program, working with partners like Hermely and helping to guide how we generated code for their machines, various other different partners as well. And then that brought me to a position of being very involved in our trade show positions and going to those events. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of led me into a position where, when the time was right, Emil decided he kind of wanted me to run the ship, and away we are.
And by the way, we're here in SolidCAM USA's Technology Center. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of machines. Can you tell us about those machines? What machines we have here?
This is a Hermely C42. This is a 5-axis machine.
Okay.
It has the Heidenhain control, and very, very powerful machine. This holds amazing tolerances, and it does things extremely fast, and it's very, very capable for all types of machining, from simple 2-axis all the way up through some of the most complex 5-axis toolpath you can imagine. So this gives us an opportunity to really test the software, make sure that what we're developing is functional, and enhance it in ways that benefit our partners and our customers.
Wow. So let me ask you something. First of all, I wanted to ask you about Emil. Is it easy to work with Emil? How is it having Emil as a boss?
Emil is fantastic. I consider him, I guess, a mentor. He's taught me a lot. He's extremely generous man, and he is demanding. So you want to do things at the highest level of excellence. Emil loves that.
Yeah. One thing I've always seen about Emil is that you can always run an idea by him, and he's always receptive to it.
Extremely.
Yeah,
Extremely.
So that's something good, yeah.
The other thing I notice about him is a lot of times I've got part of an idea that I like and that is pretty good, and then we start talking about it, and he takes it up to that next level.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are some challenges you faced as the COO of SolidCAM?
Well, it's a tall order. We, at this point in the industry, we are one of the, if not the best CAM systems in the market.
Right.
And it's a challenge to make sure that we pay attention to that. We can never let our guard down. We have to continuously improve the software. And so that is something that it's a fun challenge. It's a good challenge, but it's definitely something we pay attention to very distinctly. We also are trying to grow our customer presence here in the United States, and so there's a lot of challenging items in getting the name out and getting people to understand who we are. With the growth that we've done in the last decade with advanced mill turns, Swiss, our new additive structures and such, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we need to make sure that our customers in the industry are aware of that.
Yes, it looks like today we're at the brink of being the best in the market.
It's a great
I
place
mean,
to
we
be.
have a great team, we have the best product, we have you. So tell me, you have a big team, a large team. How much is it? Like 45
Yes,
people?
we do. We have 44 people here in the U.S.
So how do you ensure that there's good communication in the team? That how do you ensure that? How do you make sure that everybody's in sync with each other?
Well, the best way to do that is to be open to ideas.
Okay.
We want the whole team talking. We want ideas from everybody. I've always believed a person can have an idea that is not really going to be a whole idea. Maybe only 10% of it is good. But that 10% can inspire somebody else to come up with something that's just absolutely genius. And so
Right.
all ideas are welcome.
You were saying something about the world according to. Can you elaborate on that, please?
We're going to be working with one of our marketing partners in preparation for the IMTS show coming up in September.
All right.
And they're doing an article on the world according to, thinking about the manufacturing industry, and they want to interview us on the world according to SolidCAM. How do we see
Okay.
the manufacturing industry today, the growth in technology, and how do we intend to support that? And so it's an interesting interview. I'm really looking forward to it.
Of course, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so prioritizing initiatives is crucial.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, a lot of it is focusing on what our customers are looking for. The bottom line is what we do is we build software that does what our customers need it to do. Well, the only way we can discover what that is to continuously and constantly talk to our customers, see what they're doing and what they're needing to do. Same thing with our partners. We have a lot of partners that are bringing new machines into the market. Those new machines have functionalities that have never been addressed before. And so we need to make sure our development team is on top of those things, like thread whirling, for instance, and Y-axis part off and things of that nature. We've got to stay on top of those technologies because that's what the customers are asking for. That's what the machine tool manufacturers are building.
Yeah, so you're actually always listening to customer
Oh,
needs
absolutely.
and implementing them and seeing where it goes from there.
Exactly. We have to. That's what we're here for.
Okay. Now, I always love stories about how skeptic customers believe in the system. Can you tell us such a story?
That gives me a great opportunity because we see that so much with eye machining. We call it the disbelief factor. And it's
Okay.
kind of fun because eye machining is a fantastic technology. It's a patented technology that we own and nobody else in the world can do what we do with it. But it gives us the ability to machine at a much higher level of performance and at the same time get much better tool life than anybody else is getting. And of course, we've got 30-year machinists that they've spent their life machining, and you're not going to convince me it can do that. And then we run it on a machine with them, and they lean against that machine. They feel how smooth it is. They listen to it, and they listen.
Can you tell me a story about such a customer?
Actually, yeah, I can. I'm going to hesitate to say the competitive name, but
Okay.
we were at the IMTS show in 2018, and this guy's walking down the aisle. It was just a lot of fun. You can tell he's the alpha dog, and he's got his whole entourage following behind him. And it's typical trade show stuff. I'm walking out there, how you doing, what brings you to the show, and stuff like that. And he looks up and sees who we are. He goes, we already use so-and-so cam, and we're comfortable with it. And I said, well, can you give me a few minutes to show you our eye machining toolpath? Because I'm going to guarantee you it cuts better than what you've got. And he said, I don't have time. And I said, well, you can't give me a minute and a half? And he stopped dead in his tracks, turned around, looked at me. He was really angry. And he said, what do you think you're going to show me in a minute and a half that's going to convince me that this is better than what we've got? And I took it as a fun challenge. I just looked at him and I smiled and I said, well, give me a minute and a half and I'll show you.
Okay.
So he throws his hands on his hips and he goes, well, you're pretty ballsy. All right, you get a minute and a half and that's it. Well, we had this little bitty machine. It's our desktop machine from LaVille. and we're cutting, and it just happened to be ready to go. So we walked over there, I pushed the button, and it took off running, and it's a 1.5-minute cycle time. 30 seconds into the cycle, he was in the jaw drop moment, just staring at the machine going, oh my, yeah, ours won't do that. So the funny part was he stuck around for another 1.5 hours, got a full demo of the software, and absolutely fell in love with it.
So today he's our happy customer?
I believe so, yes. And we have a lot of fun with those kind of demonstrations.
Yeah, it's like crazy that people don't believe in eye machining, and then they see it, and then like they're wowed by it.
It's crazy. See it, feel it, listen to it. It is amazing.
Yeah, but
It's
more and
absolutely
more
amazing.
people are starting to believe in it.
They are, and it's fun. We're starting to see people coming to us and asking us about it, and it's great to see what it does for their businesses. You know, we've seen several machine shops that have grown their businesses 2 and 3 times because of what iMachining has done for them, and because of how easy to program SolidCAM is.
Yeah, and we have something like 400 success stories in the website.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, what about the additive field? Care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, you know, this is a very interesting thing. We're in a time in history when technology is taking some fantastic advancements. We're actually printing steel now. It's amazing.
Incredible.
You know, 10 years ago, if you asked me would have been doing this, I'd have shook my head and been a disbeliever, okay? But we are currently here in our shop, we're printing steel. And it's full metallurgical steel. Currently we're doing 17.4 pH stainless steel. And we're able to print just about anything we need to print, and then hybrid machine. We go from the printers into the CNCs to finalize it and finish it for surface finish or precision bores or anything like that. And we're able to make parts very, very quickly that sometimes you wouldn't otherwise be able to make. I mean,
So you're talking like a hybrid solution,
Yeah.
CNC and additive?
CNC and
That's the
additive.
future?
That's the future. We're seeing machines be built now. In fact, one of them, they build it with a Meltillo head on it. It's actually attached to the spindle. So where this has a spindle in here with a cutting tool on it, these hybrid machines also have an attachment on the side of it that is the laser printer.
Okay.
And they can actually print steel and then machine it and then print some more. So think about, for instance, some sort of a exhaust manifold for a helicopter or something like that, where you need it to be a very smooth internal surface. So you need to, and it's got all kinds of crazy curvature that you wouldn't be able to get into with a tool. You could actually print part of that, then 5-axis machine that for smoothness, and then continue printing, and then 5-axis machine that for smoothness, and continue printing. And it gives you the capability of doing something that was prior to that never possible. Couldn't
Wow.
be done.
That really sounds exciting. I mean, before we're just into CNC machining, and now it's like a brand new thing has opened.
Oh, it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's just, it's the growth in technology right now is spectacular.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I have to ask you about, as long as I've known you, you've always talked about, let's see if I remember, ceramics?
oh, yeah. So ceramics is a really interesting field. We started into it back in late 2014. One of our customers came to us again with a challenge. Hey, I've got this really hard material that we need to cut. And I'm like, well, iMachining's great for that. We cut hard material really well. Started talking about how we would do it, and he shook his head and he goes, no, this material's too hard for that. Okay, what kind of material are we talking about? And he goes, well, this material's, like 83 Rockwell C if the chart even went that high.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking about cutting it with a carbide tool, and that's not going to happen. So he told us, and it was, at that time, it was a silicon nitride carbide that was fully sintered. And I was, oh, okay. So we went down a line of actually developing our own tool, patenting it, and we kind of had to trick iMachining a little bit with some different values because it's designed around cutting steel. But we were able to make it basically mill grind ceramics very, very fast and with less subsurface damage than they'd seen before. So it was a very rewarding R&D project for a couple of years. And
So you think ceramics you will get into, SolidCAM will get into the field
I think
of
so.
ceramics?
I think so. Yeah, the ceramics field is growing dramatically. There's so many things we can do with fully sintered ceramics materials that we can't do with other materials.
Right.
Electronic neutrality, thermal neutrality. There's various different things. Abrasion resistance. It's really an interesting material, and there's so many different grades of it. You know, from silicon carbide type stuff all the way through, you know, optical sapphire. It's just
Wow.
amazing materials that have properties that we don't even know how we're going to use yet. And with the ability to machine it faster with iMachining, it brings the cost of those types of parts into a more affordable range. So I'm looking forward to more in R&D with it.
Wow. So can you say just a few words about this partnering with Titan?
We're really excited about this.
Everybody's excited.
Man. I mean, Titans of CNC are just great people, salt of the earth, and they're experts in everything they do. I mean, you want to talk about the top of excellence. They are striving to do a much needed job of teaching people how to machine things at a much higher level of excellence than we've done before.
And they're really excited about SolidCAM.
They are. We got their attention with our advanced mill turn and Swiss functionality. And we also, you know, they're looking at iMachining, they're looking at the way we work, our interface, the user interaction in our software, the reliability of our post-processors. It's just a fantastic marriage of technologies.
It is.
They've got some really good people, and we really enjoy working with them, and we're really looking forward to this partnership.
You know, that's interesting what you said, the marriage of technologies. It is. It is.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me ask you one last question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the future of SolidCAM?
The
in
future
your
of
eyes?
SolidCAM. You know, I see SolidCAM growing to just an amazing product. Our development team is one of the best development teams I've ever worked with. They have a philosophy that goes beyond just typical software development. They strive for excellence. We look at quality as something that is paramount. So, look, everybody wants to build the next new twinkly feature, okay? That's the fun stuff to work on. But if something comes in that we need a software correction, we're going to take care of that first and then get back to the enhancements so that we make sure that reliability for our customers is always there. And our customers appreciate that. We've got loyal customers. You know.
I know that quality is very important for Emil. He's always into quality.
Absolutely.
And I see that you're the same.
Try to be. Absolutely.
Listen, Ken, I think we're going places.
I think so too, and I'm really interested in the ride. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So thank you, Ken. I think you're doing great as your new hat of SolidCAM COO. The team loves you. And let's go forward.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you for this, and stay tuned for my next podcast.